Hi and welcome to a new video. I'm really excited today because I have a book haul for you guys. I said when I arrived in Sweden that I would not do book shopping. We all knew that that was a lie. Sue me. So I have a fair few of books here that I want to talk with you guys about. I have read some of them. Good work, Mathilda. Good work. And some I've not. So I thought we could start talking about it. This is not in order. I don't remember when I bought these books. So you know what? We're just gonna go through it. The first book in the pile is Never Date a Roommate by Paula Ottoli. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm so sorry. I bought this when I was in Copenhagen and I thought it would be nice to have a book like that's set in Copenhagen. I've been there a fair few times, but I haven't been there in a long while now because I've been in Australia and then I think we tend to go other places in Denmark and not that often in Copenhagen, but it's still so close to where I live. It's like 1.5 hours on a train ride. And I found this one and I think it's indie published because it's this like matte cover. I have read this one. And the premise of this is basically kind of interesting because the female main character works at a gaming company. I've never really read like a book where it's set where the female lead, or like any lead honestly, is working in the gaming industry, and I found that part of it really interesting and I wish they kind of dove deeper into that, but well. So this one I bought and I love the cover of it. Like, it's in Nyhavn in Denmark and the houses there are just so beautiful. It's very oldish, and yeah. So that's the first book I bought. Then the second book in the pile is Stephen Fry's Odyssey? The Odyssey? I don't know. I honestly don't really know what this is about. I did a special interest class in mythology 2 times when I was in Brisbane, and I've never really been interested in mythology in that way. Like, I've read some Greek mythology books and similarly, but I've never done a deep dive into mythology and understood more than Greek mythology. Like, I know about it. We talked a little bit about Norse mythology when I was really young in school, but not more than that. So I know the basics, but I thought it would be fun when I have more knowledge of it, because I've read some books since doing that special interest class. I've realized that I understand a lot more of the context of some books. Like, the entirety of the Shadowhunters universe are actually based in some mythology, and I didn't realize that until I did the spin. And I've read so many of Cassandra Clare's books by now that I should have gotten the references, but I didn't until I took that spin. I remember that class so specifically because we went through the mythology around some of the things, and I was like, oh my god, there's actually mythology based in the Shadowhunters universe, and I found that so interesting. So I guess that this is based loosely around the Odyssey and like the mythology and the story around it. So I thought that it would be interesting to start, and I've heard of Stephen Fry before. So I felt like this is a good start into mythology and maybe not too heavy, because I think there's also like pictures in this. Yeah, look. So we'll see what I think about it and my opinions, but it's a start. If I don't like it, I'll know that I don't like it, but I've tried it. The other book, I think I bought these 2 at the same time, and that is The Will of the Many. I have absolutely zero idea what this is about, but I've heard so much about it. So it's quite funny that I don't know anything about it, but it's a thick book. Do you see how thick it is? How many pages is it? 694 pages. I know that it's a fantasy book, and I think it's been compared to like Fourth Wing or similar books. Not in the sense of the plot of it, but like how obsessed people are with it, but I've been like looking at it, especially in Australia, because it's been such a thick book, and I've seen Rachel Catherine have it on her TBR. She haven't yet read it, but I know that she has it on her TBR, and we have quite similar book taste, so I thought we'd give it a try. And I think it's kind of like an elite academy in some sort, where I could actually read the back of it. Ooh, it actually sounds really interesting. So basically, there's like a price tag in front of some, so I can't read everything. We have the main character who tells people that, I think it's a her, it might be a he, it doesn't say, that the person name is Vistalamus, and that they have been sent to this academy just to like go to school, you know, be a part of civilization and just go through their education. But actually they've been sent to this academy to uncover a murder, to might unravel the entirety of the society and the people who rule society. That sounds so interesting. So it's a fantasy series based in an elite academy where we have the main character, and the main character is playing a role where they're not important, but they actually really are, and they're trying to solve this murder to find an ancient weapon. Hello? Why have I never read the back of this before? The font is tiny though, and the book is so thick. That's gonna be an achievement to read, I think. I guess I'm gonna read a lot of it on my Kobo, unfortunately. I tend to do that when it's really thick books. I buy them and then I just read it on my Kobo. It's a bad habit. You know what? I still keep doing it. The next books are some, wait. I'm gonna change the order of this for a while. We're gonna start with 2 Lion books. And for you guys who haven't watched my vlog, I think it was my, was I trying to read a couple pages a day or something like that? I can just put the link on the video where I read the unselected journals of Lion. And the thing about these books are that they're being traditionally published. These ones are indie published. So they're kind of hard to get by and to actually get. And they're also like, again, this mad indie published cover, but I really love how they look. Like, these are so incredibly beautiful, and they really look just plainly beautiful. So I couldn't get all of them, and they were also quite expensive. So I thought I would get my 2 favorite volumes. So I grabbed, firstly, volume 6, because, and they're quite small. The things that happen in the end of this book, I had to have it. I could not have it. And then I also bought volume 8, and this is the latest installment that is currently out. So I really, really enjoyed this one because, how do I describe this series? It's basically like slice of life. It's not a lot happening. There's no specific plot or anything about that. We just have Emma, who's the main character. And she arrives in London after being away for a while, and she has this house that she's inherited, and we just follow her life. It's very much like, it's these balls, and there's a lot of drama, and just London in the 1870s, 1880s, I think, yes. So we really get to follow her, and she's quite funny. She's actually hilarious, and the people around her are also hilarious. We have all these specific types of people, like her uncle. We hate him. He's a very interesting character because he yells a lot, especially at Emma, and think that Emma is like the worst person on earth. And seeing Emma and her uncle, what's his name, like Archibald? Something like that. I think it's Archibald. Seeing them interact together, and then just Emma finding her place in London and the people in London. It's just so good. And in this book, it's like half of it are placed where Emma and her friends are just in a very specific place, and they're all hanging out, and it was so deep. I think I cried to this book. It's just so good, and I had to have it. I don't really like the green, to be completely honest, but I prefer this cover still to the ones that are on the books that are being traditionally published, so still had to have it. And then we get into like a subcategory of Lyon, because Lyon loves reading, and she reads a lot of classics and like books that were popular in the 1880s. So I of course bought some books that she mentioned, and the first two are by the same one, and it's William Shakespeare. So I firstly bought Julius Caesar because it's actually kind of a big part of some of the books. I don't remember if it's in one book specifically, but Julius Caesar are named several times, and I've never, like, I know the story of it, but I've never like read Shakespeare's, is it a play? I think it's a play. Or not. Maybe it's a book. No, it's a play. Yeah. So I really want to read this one to get the context a bit more and maybe enjoy the books even more. So this one I bought, and then I also bought King Lear by William Shakespeare, and this as well mentioned several times in Lyon, and it's such a short book. However, classics takes me a long while to read, so even if it's short, I bet you it will take me like 1 or 2 months to get through it, because you have to be in a very specific mood. Maybe this is a play and this isn't, because this one have, no, I don't know. I have not done any research on this. So it's different editions. This is a Wordsworth Classic and this is Penguin Classic. I kind of wanted to have everything in Penguin Classic because I collect them, but they didn't have it in the Penguin Classic one, so I bought the Wordsworth one. But I have several different editions of classics, so it's fine. So these are on my radar. I don't know when I'll read them. Sometime in the future, I hope, but yes. And then lastly, in the same kind of context, I bought a kind of controversial book, and I didn't know this. It's a problematic book, and when I bought it, the like cashier were like, "Oh, such a stunning cover, very problematic though." And I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean it's problematic? And like, all classics are problematic in some sense based on the society it was during that time and everything surrounding it, and I'm not making excuses at all. But this book is supposedly very, very controversial and problematic, and it's Robinson Crusoe. I think Crusoe, it's pronounced, and I think this is regarded as the first English novel, which is mentioned in Lyon, and she reads it, and I really wanted to read it as well, and I have been recommended it once before, so I saw it as my sign to finally buy it and read it. If I would have known that it was problematic in the sense it is, I maybe wouldn't have bought it. I would have borrowed it from the library or just read it on my Kobo or something. But I'd already paid for it when he said it was problematic, so yeah. I don't really know exactly how or what is happening in the book, and I think I will mention it when I read it. I'm thinking of doing like a reading vlog maybe, where I read these 3 books. But we'll see. I will say my opinion and say what I feel about them and see if I can get through them. Classics are always classics. And then we have one last book. And this is a book I've never heard of, but I was really drawn to the cover. And that is A Dance of Lies. I bought this one as well in Copenhagen when I was there. And it was kind of like a fantasy-ish game Harry Potter store. This is, oh, what was it? We have the female main character, Vasily? I don't really know how that's pronounced. And she was a dancer in this court, the king's court, until she was framed for murder. And she gets sentenced to 2 long years in like, I don't know if it's kind of like a slave camp or prison. Don't really know. And after 2 years, the king comes forward to her, I think. Yes, not the prince. Sometimes it's the prince in books like this, but it's the king. He like suggests a deal that she'll be a spy in his enemy's kingdom. And when she does that, she'll be granted freedom from this murder she was framed from. And while she do this, she realizes that it's a lot more dangerous than when presented. So we follow this, and then, of course, the king has 2 sons. And it's a big rivalry between them, and I guess that Vasily is somehow caught between those two princes, and I'm a bit scared that it'll be too much like Throne of Glass or like Red Queen, similar to that, because I really enjoyed, is it Powerless, the first book in the series? Yeah, but it's still very plagiarized by Hunger Games and Red Queen. Red Queen is one of the first fantasy books I ever read. I think I read it in like 2019 or something. Then in 2022, when Powerless was read, I was flabbergasted about how much of it was plagiarized from Red Queen and Hunger Games. So I'm hoping that they just have similarities like Throne of Glass, this book, and Red Queen, and that it's not yet another count of plagiarism. So I'm hoping and praying that this will be good and that I can enjoy it and I won't feel like it's basically the same books that the author plagiarized it. Those are all the books I bought recently, I think. It's still, how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 books. It's not that bad, I want to say. And I really have to get going if I'm gonna read all the books on my TBR. I have read some of them though. How many is it I haven't read? We have 4 here. Those 2 I've read. Okay, so it's only 6 out of 9 books I have yet to read, so it's not that bad. So it's only 6 more in my TBR, because I already read Today the Roommate and the MM Lion books. So I have to get going, honestly, and I hope I'll enjoy them. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know I did. I'm really excited to read all of these books, and remember to leave a like and subscribe if you like this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.